What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zcash today, ZEC USD. It is the 19th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $431 with 6 hours and 11 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are, pumping about 11% up on the day so far. We did have a little bit higher, but the highest price that we saw today was about $440. We're at $430 now, so doing good, looking good here. You know, from a high to a low perspective, going from your 0.5 to your 236 and then up to your golden ratio is actually very common. So common, in fact, that we were talking about this exact scenario up here, right? We flipped bullish right around here, but we did say up here that there's a probability that we do go down to the 236 and then we find support. But likely, whatever happens, we're probably not moving below this low until we get up to this golden ratio, and then we can talk about moving lower. There's a strong chance where this is the low. This low here at $300 could very well be the low for Zcash, and we don't go below there. But it just depends. There's a few things that we have to do before that's valid. I'm not there yet. And while still being under the assumption that we do go below this low inevitably, which I am, I'm under that assumption, I still believe that we will hit this golden ratio zone, 530 to 560, somewhere up there, before moving lower. So that's the target. We're at 430 now. We're probably going to move up another $100 or so. I mean, it could be over the coming days. It could be sometime by the end of next week. Maybe Zcash is the only crypto that gets a Santa Claus rally, or maybe it's one of the few that does, but it does look as though that's where we're going right now. This dynamic, the 0.5 to the 236 reaction, and what you're doing today, it's, I mean, from here, man, I would say I have an 80% chance of us going here. Anyways, looking at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out from there. 1 hour, looking at it here, and we are on Coinbase, so this is one of the larger exchanges with some of the most volume in the world for Zcash. We're looking at this here. There's really not a lot of volume. Really not a lot of volume. You don't really need volume. Like, yes, you're moving up. It's nice to have volume, but you are technically, you know, from here. Whoops, that's, I don't know what just happened there. You are technically from here building volume a little bit as you're moving up, so that's all right. But you don't really need volume to come in until you're breaking above these highs. That's when the volume needs to come in. It's like here when you're moving up. Did you have much volume? No, but the volume got more consistent on this movement here. Whenever the volume died off, you pulled back and you went lower. Then the volume came back in, and then we moved higher, right? Volume staved. It didn't come back in, so we moved lower. Anyways, I think that it's okay that we're not seeing a lot of volume here is all I'm trying to say. I think that we do push higher. 1 hour RSI is very bullish. Very, very bullish. We haven't seen these readings since here, and that promoted more growth afterwards. Stochastics are bullish, and the MACD is bullish as well. Bullish on all accounts. 4 hour time frame, looking at this, we have broken out of our downtrend, and we're up at the overbought area now. It is possible. It is possible that we could find some turbulence here. Low or high to low here. We're right at our golden ratio zone. Perfect, yeah. We might find some turbulence. You're at 433 now. Maybe we come back down to about 420. Maybe we go as low as 407. I doubt we go below either of these levels. And then we probably return moving higher. I highly doubt that we just push higher from here immediately without returning to 420 to 407. Somewhere in that range, okay? That's where I think we're going to go. Find a little turbulence here. You're overbought on the stochastic, so cool off a little bit. In the MACD, because it's a lagging indicator, during this cool off, you'll probably still see these oscillators cross above the zero while promoting consolidation, and then you'll continue to rally afterwards. Typically, when we get the 4 hour to cross, right, the last time that you crossed here, you did see a little consolidation. You moved up, consolidated, and then you ran. Then you ran hard, right? Whenever we crossed here, you saw some consolidation. You didn't run more, but you saw some consolidation. That's the point. We crossed here. What'd you do? As soon as we crossed bullish here, we consolidated. And we've really been consolidating up until this point. You look at the daily time frame, and the RSI, in my opinion, looks very, very bullish overall. Neutral posturing right now. But because of how much you got overbought, the extent of which you got overbought, and just the very quick reaction you had here at the oversold zone, it definitely has a very bullish implication to it. We can move up, we can reject the overbought zone, we can still go lower. This can shift bearish. Again, just because we're bullish right now doesn't mean that we're on our way to new highs. I highly doubt, in just the way that I think of this, and I think it's a logical way of thinking. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm too bearish. I don't think so. But, you know, from August 18th to the high here on November 3rd, or that week of November 3rd, we saw a 21x. September, October, November. It was like less than a 3-month period, right? Like a 2.5, almost 3-month period. We saw 21x. 21x in a quarter of a year or less. And after that, this is your correction. You just correct for 3 weeks. I don't think so. I don't think so. Even if this is the low, you've got weeks, you've got months probably of consolidation before you're ready to move up higher. Maybe you move all the way up here, but you'll still pull back. You'll still consolidate in this range, and it might not be till February or March before you actually explore higher prices, okay? That's my expectation. We are looking at the daily time frame, right? Daily stochastics bouncing out the 50 looks good. MACD building bullish momentum right here. That actually is a very bullish signal right there. That actually is really good. It's not super bullish to the point of where we'll see new highs, but just probably taking out this high here. And then weekly time frame, looking at this. Overall, you are in a fantastic posturing. I mean, your RSI is basically parabolic with these higher lows. With that being said, you can come lower and still maintain a very bullish posture, so you absolutely can go lower. But you've reset your RSI, you've cooled way the hell off. Reset the stochastics, you're at the 50, it's a perfect area to bounce. Bounced here before, found resistance here before, and the MACD is also at an area to bounce. But just because we're moving up does not mean we're seeing new highs. In fact, what I will say is if from here we were to push to new highs, that would likely be a double top bearish divergence moment where we actually do plummet. That would be really bad. It would be better for the price. If you want to validate this as a low, it would be better for the price to not find higher prices but to consolidate and then rally after we've consolidated some. After we have our, maybe a triangle is what we're forming, a pennant, whatever. I don't care how it looks. It could be a horizontal channel, whatever it is, but consolidate, I would think, at least for another, I don't know, 2 to 4 weeks at a minimum, maybe 6 to 8 weeks at a maximum, and then we could start moving higher. But until then, the assumption is 433 now, we'll see at 525, 560, somewhere up there, likely pull back to prices that are lower. My assumption is that we actually we'll move up here and then we'll continue to go lower. We'll do an ABC correction that will likely take us below $200. And then from there, that's where I think the low is going to be. But if I'm wrong, just keep consolidating here. We will admit defeat. We will admit bearish defeat that we are not going down here if we show some productivity here, if we show some constructive behavior. But we're just right now figuring ourselves out, so we need some time, right? I'm willing to admit that I was wrong, but at least as of this point, I'm not proven wrong. No, from a high to a low, the expectation is, in my opinion, we go up to the golden ratio, we'll pull back, and we will likely go through. We'll likely go down. I think we're in the middle of what's called A, B, C correction. It's a very standard correction. Look it up. What is an ABC correction? I think this is the move down. An ABC correction, right? It just looks like that. It's a little Harry Potter. The C leg is typically bigger than the A leg or very symmetrical. With that in mind, assuming that we do push, let's say, to 525 at a minimum. We push to 525, right? Or 530, whatever, like right there. If we were to come down, that would take us basically right there below, or right there above $200. So whether it's just above, just below, somewhere around $200, but probably just below is my guess. I do think that we go just below $200. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves.